What's up, everybody? It's Yanino again. I'm back with another video. Today I'm coming at you guys with a language learning video. I'm going to be giving you guys my top 5 tips on how to learn a new language. So let's get into it.
My diamonds on froze. Diamonds on froze. Diamonds on froze.
So first off, let me put this out there that studying languages is basically like studying for school. Different people use different techniques. Some people are visual learners, other people learn by memorizing. These different things work for different people, different strokes for different folks. But these are my top 5 tips, things that worked for me. And I've watched a lot of different polyglots do videos like this, explain how they learned their languages and things that have helped them. And I see a lot of recurring themes, which are some of the things I'm going to talk about. So clearly they are very effective techniques or tricks that help. But again, they might not be the best thing for you, but I'm speaking personally from experience and they do work. So it's up to you guys to use it to the best of your abilities. So my first tip would be learn how to speak. Sounds super simple, it sounds almost stupid to say, but what I mean by that is don't start by memorizing all the grammar, different vocabulary, learning random nouns, trying to learn a list of words, a list of verbs. That is not going to help you. That's just going to confuse you and demotivate you in learning the language. Start by learning the simple things. Whatever language you speak, look at the verbs you use the most, the nouns that you use the most, that come up in sentences most commonly, and try and learn those in that language. So you learn to build a basic conversation and then you build from there. Verbs like to be, to have, eat, walk, go, come, things like that. Nouns like food, water, TV. I'm giving random examples, but verbs that you would use in an average conversation, or if you're starting to learn a language, things that you could use to start talking to people, to start practicing your vocabulary, things that you'll be able to use in the beginning. Learning different grammatical rules is not going to help you in the beginning to learn a language. Like I said, it's just going to confuse you and just make the whole process harder for you and demotivate you. Now, tip number 2, which basically goes with tip number 1, is try and use different language learning apps, especially if you're not in a country that speaks the language that you're trying to learn. It's the best, in my opinion, it's the best way to learn the basics, which will allow you to be able to start having small conversations, which is what will actually help you learn the language. Language learning apps will not make you become fluent. It'll give you the basics and like the fundamentals for you to be able to go out and start talking to people, have small conversations, which will later on, as you speak more and more, lead to you being fluent. But in my experience, these have helped so much. I don't know much about too many language learning apps. I basically have only used Duolingo and it's been extremely helpful for me. If you guys want, I can make a video reviewing different language learning apps, comparing them and seeing which ones are the best and letting you guys know. But personally, Duolingo has helped me learn Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. Again, it did not help me become fluent in those languages, but it gave me the basics to be able to learn the language by talking to people. Now, tip number 3 is to watch videos on YouTube and series or movies on Netflix in that language that you're trying to learn. Now, this is something that the language learning apps can help you with, which is really hearing how people speak, how the speed of their speech, the different slang terms that they use, that those apps will not teach you, but is really what you're going to face when you're going to be talking to a native speaker. You can learn so many different words that aren't formal, that people use in the day-to-day, that are really cool and that will help you a lot when you're trying to speak to a native speaker. And you'll learn a lot about the culture. You'll see what in those movies, in those videos, you'll see what people talk about, what they like. You'll learn a lot about it, and like I said, you'll get a more realistic feel for what those people sound like when they speak, and that will really help you. Because if you go off just language learning apps and then you try and hop into a conversation with someone, you're gonna see it's gonna hit you like a brick sometimes, especially Spanish. You're learning off a book, you're learning off a language learning app, then you go to speak with someone and they're speaking like 50 words a second, and it's surprising. So these things, like I said, YouTube, Netflix, any platform that helps you watch videos or movies, will really help you get a feel for a realistic conversation with someone, and will show you words that you wouldn't be able to learn in those things that people use, the slang, the day-to-day talk, that will help you a lot when you're trying to talk to someone. So tip number 4 is ask as many questions as you can. I find this is probably the best thing that helped me and that separated me from other people that were trying to learn a language that weren't able to learn it as quickly as me, is asking questions as often as I could. What I would always do, and what I still always do when I'm trying to learn a language, is I'll have a conversation in my head, or even if I know barely anything in the language, I'll say what I know, and then whatever word that I want to say in that language but I don't know, I'll ask whoever I'm talking to, or I'll look it up how to say it in that language. And then it's repetitive. You might think it's annoying, and you might not want to bother people constantly asking them how to say something, but it is what's going to make the difference. And you'd be surprised how much people are willing to help you learn the language and always answer your questions and help you out. People love to see you trying to learn their language, and I'm telling you, this is a key to trying to learn a new language, is always being curious, always wanting to learn, always asking yourself if you don't know a word, if you're thinking of the word in your language and you want to know how to say it in the other, always ask right away. And it's that repetitiveness, the constant asking of questions, that is going to make those words stick in your head, and then eventually you'll be able to say them fluently without thinking. Now, tip number 5 is speak as much as you can. This is very similar to tip number 4, and they go hand in hand. But honestly, even if you're just starting off in the language, you know 1 sentence, 2 sentences, you only know a few basic words, every chance you get, try and speak as much as you can, because that will definitely help you. It will definitely make a big difference in the long run. Like they say, practice makes perfect, and it's really trying to speak and getting comfortable pronouncing those words, not stuttering when you say them, being able to say them fluently. The more and more you practice, even if you make a fool out of yourself, who cares? You're winning in the end, because you're practicing and you're going to be learning a language. So if you're worried about what people think, fuck them, honestly, because you're doing this for yourself, and in the end, it's amazing when you see the progress you've made, or that moment that you're able to have your first conversation, you're able to pull together your first full sentence. It's an amazing feeling. It's super rewarding, and it makes you want to learn more, and it makes you want to go out and speak more and challenge yourself more. So that makes a huge difference to honestly try and speak as much as you can whenever you can. Take every opportunity and don't shy away. Speak as much as you can, and I'm telling you, that will make the biggest difference between you learning quickly and efficiently and you maybe getting demotivated, thinking it's taking too long, not really learning. These things will definitely help you. I'm not saying, you guys, with these tips that you're gonna learn in a month or 2, but it will definitely help you learn faster than you would have if you would have just been studying by heart or doing, I'm not sure, some other technique. These are what worked for me, and I guarantee you, if you use these 5 techniques, it will genuinely help you learn a language quicker and better. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about this video, leave it in the comments. I'll answer all of them. I hope this video helped all of you guys that are trying to learn a new language. I hope it gave you some insight that you didn't know before. And yeah, thank you guys a lot for watching. Please leave a like if you guys liked the video. Comment what you thought. And of course, subscribe to see more language learning content and cool different cultural videos like I've been doing. So thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.
How many times I step in the booth and I'm rapping the truth? How many times I hate on the fool, but got love from 2?